Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. Folks, welcome to the show, South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught, your future marine forecast, moon phase, and tide chart. Everything you need to know to help you in the bite. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, let's get right. We have the massive opening that everyone's been waiting for. Grouper and tilefish are finally open. Thank you, FWC. Now, along with that, it also comes Atlantic Greater Amberjack, Porgy, Hogfish, Blue Line Tile, and many, many groupers. Of what everybody has been waiting several months for. So if they have any shutdown. So Blue Line Tilefish, right? Grouper, Gag, Black, Red, Yellowmouth, Yellowfin, Scamp, Snowy, Red Hind, Rock Hind, Coney, Graysby, all the you're gonna catch hogfish and all that goodness. Let's see if they're saying anything about when it will close. It just says it opens May 1st. Okay, so I guess we got 6 months, and fish are going to shut that down probably in a month or two. So get them while you can, folks. Awesome. There we go. That's that one, right? So we're back in it. Let's get into seeing what everybody caught. Not much of an inshore bite that got shared, but hey, we'll head right out onto the reef, right? Let's take a look. This is Todd Prince down in Marathon. He's on the permit. This is obviously a little bit offshore. That's a bigger reef permit going on right there. Good deal. Thanks, Todd, for sharing it. And he also got something and a big old log of a Jack Crevalle. Yeah, when you bust out the scale on your Jack Crevalle, that's a good day. He said he threw that one back. No need to senselessly off something for no reason. So he had a good day. A couple of, nice fish going on there, right? Permit and big old Jack. All right, let's head up off the reef. We had the Starlight 101, 18-pound, 31.5-inch Cubera snapper caught in 80 feet of water right outside of Hillsborough Inlet. That's solid on a drift boat, right? That going home and dinner in the bucket right there. When they get very big, you got to watch out because Cubera's the giant ones. But this size, I'm sure he's pretty happy with that catch and went home and was a hungry fella and ate him up. All right, so Cubera snapper, and they're very skittish too. So, this is a great catch on, especially on the drift boats. Man, when they hear those sinkers start lugging to the ground and all that, they kind of spook real easy. So, nice catch right there. This was, his name was Julio, fishing on the Starlight. Very good. Let's see what we got. Pedro Nana. He said he had 5 hours worth of trolling out of Palm Beach Inlet, 2 bites. One was a football, blackfin you see right here, and another one was a bonita. So we are heading into bonita season, right? They are going to be swarming around, and if you really can't stand them, the way to get away from the false albacore is to head out past 200 feet. They really don't hang out much deeper than 200 feet. So here you go. All right, Jim, 4J's Charter. So if you're looking for a charter out of the Boynton area, hit up 4J's Charter. If you can't get a hold of him through Messenger or whatever, get in touch with me and I can try and put you in that. You got a nice of a blackfin and, like I said, a couple of false albacore. Happy camper, going home with some sashimi. Very good. All right, so the tuna bite is on, folks, right? The mahi bite is also on. Let's check it out. Sean out of St. Lucie found some scattered weeds in a $1.80. Caught these couple of nice ones on skirted ballyhoo. We got us a little bully and a nice size, flipper cow. So good to go, man. He's out there and getting it done. Definitely having some fun, and it's taco time for Sean. Definitely on the fish. Good deal. So, like I said, folks, it is definitely tuna mahi time. If you've got the chance to get out there and get offshore and go get them, go get them. Alec, captain of Marathon on the Dolphin. Definitely. and he caught much more than just this one. He actually sent a video. Let me see if we can get to it. Oh, crud. I didn't mean to do that. I got to get back on my page. Bear with me. Always happens. That's my computer savviness. There we go. Back on the page. Let's get back to it. Here we go. Okay. He sent us a nice little video. See, there we go. Right there. Look at that. That's a boatload of dolphins. So Captain Alex in Marathon, right? If you're down in Marathon and you're looking for a charter boat captain, he's licensed, he's rated and all that stuff through the Coast Guard. If you can't get a hold of him, again, get a hold of me. Get you in touch with him. There you go. And, you know, this is what you got. Like I said, the dolphin are swimming around, folks. So, yeah, let's get on them. Oh, last but not least, Neil Link. PalmBeachCharters.net, yet our third captain of the post, right? These guys, you know, hey, any publicity is great publicity. Neil Link, PalmBeachCharters.net. So if you're a little bit further up north in Palm Beach Inlet, looking for a charter captain, definitely give him a shout. And again, if you're in the Pompano Beach area, the Cubera snapper, that's 101. They're right there where the fishing fleet is, right next to the Hillsborough Inlet Bridge. Go on, hit it up. That's a drift boat. It'll cost you $60 for a 4-hour trip. You get out there, they provide the bait. They can give you rods and reels if you need them, and you know, any of that good stuff. And along with you know, these charter boats right here, like Neil, you know, get out there, get you a nice cobia. That's going on, man. That's a, you know, great catch. Going to be a happy customer, eating real good. Again, Neil Link out of Palm Beach, PalmBeachCharters.net. Can't get a hold of them? Hit me up. I can help you get a hold of them. All right. So that's what we're looking at, folks, right? We got some good stuff on the reef. We are getting ready to come towards the mutton spawn, right? So that's going to happen here sometime soon. The mutton snapper spawn, right? It's that time of year. It's going to be good to go out and go do your drill for the mutton snapper. That is going to be the next big wave that everybody is going to hit. If you know, but right now we're focusing on mahi and the big tuna coming in. So you're going to want to live bait them or jig them. They're going to be down deep, 100 feet. Just drift around and find them. They're not, you know, they're not really. They are structure oriented. They will. But if you just get out there off those deep ledges and, you know, more than likely slow pitch jigging, that way you're not, you know, dealing with babysitting baits. That's you're good to go. All right. So that is our fishing report, folks. Let's talk about weather. So weather, first things first, right? From now we start hurricane season. Fun. 1 week from now, next week, we start the rain where we hit. And if you can't even tell, it's already started. The pattern of the 5-minute storms every afternoon. You're going to get rain. So just bear that in mind when you are planning your fishing trips. All right. So right now, what we're looking at currently, if you look at the news and all that goodness, we've got a front that is stalled up north. Let me pull up Windy and I can explain it. That there's a front stalled up north, right? Zoom out. We got a front that's up here. It's stalled. Not a cold front, it's just a front. It is going to be met by another one. So right now we have a lot of high pressure, which is high pressure, which is keeping us kind of dry. Once that other front overtakes, as we approach the weekend, starting Friday, our chances for rain are going to increase throughout the weekend. And, you know, it's like I said, starting now, we're going to get that, we are going to get the rain season kicked in. All right, so for now, here we go, right? Let's take a look. This is Windy, right? So for anyone who is new, we use different websites. We've given up on NOAA because NOAA is just general and it's not doing us any good. So we're going to stick with Windy and WindFinder. Okay, all of this websites are available in the description. Just pop on. Good to go. Windy is very good. It's color coded. It works down here with this color coded chart. tells you wind speed in knots. Knots isn't much different than miles an hour. 1 knot is 1.1 mile an hour. All right. It is kind of cool. You see, like I am, you can just take your little hand, your little icon, and click it in any general, and it will tell you your wind speed, 11 knots from the southeast. And this is right now. This is, real time what it's saying. Now, also at the same time, when we use these forecast model predictors, you want to, real time stuff like your beams, your inlet cams, all that goodness. Okay, so let's get to it. So let's look at tomorrow morning, right, and see how we're doing. Tomorrow morning, and we got the low double digits somewhere in, let's check out the Tri-County area, 10 knots from the east, right? So we're not, it's we're following pattern, but not too undoable until as we approach again, our wind and all that stuff, and the rain, and for everybody who's got a week, Saturday and Sunday, man, it's brutal. And considering that we just had BOCA bash, which pretty much the inlet for the BOCA people who don't want to deal with that mess. Anyway, up here, Vero Beach, not too bad. We got the south wind at 8 knots tomorrow morning. They're getting pretty windy down there. 13 knots from the east. So you're really going to have the big sport fishing, or your charter boat captain's probably getting out there tomorrow and doing it. Tomorrow afternoon, it seems to let up a little bit, not much. The west coast is doing good. They got a little bit of area of convection going on, which is this swirling happening right here, going and changing directions. Not bad. Tampa Bay, they're starting to see their kingfish, I believe. I could be wrong. Kingfish run happening up on the shallow waters off the piers. For those guys who do it, down in the Keys, they're fairly windy straight as we head more up in southeast. 8 knots southeast tomorrow afternoon. Thursday morning, looks like it picks up. So we're seeing the same sort of wind speeds, low double digits from the southeast. The good thing about this is it's going to in the Sargasso weed that has bloomed from the Sargasso Sea, which is down to the east southeast of the Caribbean. Pushes all of it up in here, and southeast winds give you nice clumps to not spread it all around, which is good. It's when we get variable winds, that's when they start scattering, and then they have to clump back together. So very good. Let's see. Thursday afternoon, again, lets up a little bit up north. Not, it's all over the place. Winds changing direction here and there and everywhere. The west coast, you can see it's coming from the south and heading a little bit northerly up our coast, and over on the west coast, it's coming from the south and then heading back easterly the further north you get. So the wind is all over the place. And again, as I said, there's going to be a front approaching that will overtake the stalled one, and this is what you're going to see. So, morning again, we're having some fun. Starting Friday, it's going to pick up, and the thunderstorm activity and all that goodness. So, winds definitely, it's let's see, Vero, we're looking at 12 knots from south, Fort Lauderdale. 11 knots in the southeast, so it's not too ridiculous, but it's gonna be choppy out there, folks. Hopefully it'll give in as and we'll be able to go out there and capitalize on the mahi run. 12 knots southeast and the Keys marathon for our marathon people that posted. Todd Prince and Captain Alex, 13 knots. So if they're getting out there, it's gonna be a little bumpy out there. All right, Friday afternoon. South winds dies down a little bit way up north. They're getting winds to the west, winds from the down here. But again, this is this front, right? And we're going to see what it'll rain. Saturday, look at winds, right? So let's look at what we're looking at. We're looking 16 knots from the southeast. And again, this could change. Look, we get to the weekend, but it's somewhat fairly accurate. It's not going to change truly. Like, you're not going to see this all this in this light blue and it'd be like 5 knots. It's just not really going to happen. Everglades National Park, 19 knots from the southeast. So the Keys are, they're sticking out there. They're getting hammered a little bit more than the East Coast is. Further up, it almost looks like you got wind shifting direction from the southwest a little bit, 8 knots. So that is Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. It lets up a little bit, but it's really not going to give in too much. Sunday, like I said, it picks up overnight again. So we're looking at, we're taking a pounding. Coast again, they're on the leeward side of the island in the shallows of the west coast. It won't be too bad. It will just be probably making the waters a little murky with these elevated winds. Tampa Bay looking pretty as usual. East Coast all up and down. Area, everything just taking a hit. Sunday afternoon, more of the same. Tri-County area, we're looking at 11 knots from the southeast. So, let's wait and see. I'm saying, 2 to 4, 3 to 5, it all depends. Maybe not, maybe a little less. Monday, here we go. Back to it, double digits. We're looking at, 17 knots from the southeast. So as the progresses, the wind isn't giving up at all. Tends to wind down in the afternoons is what the trends are looking like. And then as the overnight hours continue on, the winds pick back up. Monday afternoon, again, more of the same. This area of deadness here, we're still looking, 14 knots from the east, the Keys, middle Keys. It's going to be windy out there this weekend, folks, and into early next week. Tuesday, more of the same. Tuesday afternoon, even heavier up here towards the Bureau, 20. But that's, way off. That's kind of a bit offshore. I did not do that. That's temperature. Ignore that. This is the weather radar. Here we are. We're back to our wind. Okay. So let's take a look at waves, right? Let's go back to tomorrow morning and look at our wave height, see what we're looking at. And again, this is all just forecasting, right? And again, on windy, you can do the same thing if you're on a PC, not on the app, not on the download app. Tomorrow morning, they're saying 2-foot waves east at a 4-second period, which is not too horrendously bad, right? It'll be because that period is close. A 4-second period, waves are close together. 7, 8, 9, 10 and above period, that's more of a. All right, and now we've got our waves coming from the south. They're good conditions to push in all the debris and seaweed to get out there and get on that mahi bite. Same thing with the afternoon. The further you go down into the Keys, 3 foot from the east, long range trips out to Poley Ridge. Not crazy, but I don't know. I don't even know much about those, how they plan those out or anything. I know they're a good chunk of change. That's what I do. All right. Thursday, 8 a.m. Not too darn bad. 1 foot seas at a 3-second period. So our winds are picking up, but the seas aren't being too bad. That's Thursday. Thursday afternoon tends to stay the same. And now, again, this is in the Tri-County area. If we go up to Vero, we're looking at 3 foot from the east at a 7-second period, which isn't bad. Now, again, here in the the lower Palm Beach area, heading into Fort Lauderdale, 1 foot at 4 seconds. Miami, 1 foot at 3 seconds. It shortens the further south we come. And if we're looking at middle Keys, we're looking at 2 foot waves from the east at 4 seconds. So it's not undoable. It's just the winds are just going to be ripping. So you got to think about that. Friday morning. Let's look right here. 1 foot seas at 4 seconds. Not bad. And the further north we go, they look like they want to pick up a little bit. 3 foot seas. Again, we're using the color-coded chart down here, or you can point, and it'll tell you what it is in that general vicinity. All right. Friday afternoon. Yeah, southeast waves, 2 foot. Not. Okay, so for the remainder of the week, it's not looking too bad. Saturday. Okay, now we're starting to get into these darker shades, which means it's going to pick up a little bit as the weekend goes on. We're looking at They're saying seas, second period. Further up north, Vero area, 3 foot at 7 seconds. Lower Keys, 4 foot seas. So it's going to be a bit bumpy out there. Again, they're sticking out there in the Florida Straits, so they're taking the brunt of that wind. But Tri-County area with a little bit of protection from the Bahamas, not too awfully bad. 2 foot seas at 4 seconds. Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, looking about the same thing. Sunday morning. Let's see. 3 foot seas at 4 seconds. So Saturday is a little bit. Sunday it picks up a little bit in the morning time, and we're looking at the same thing. But upper Keys, lower Keys, 4 foot at 4 seconds. So that's fairly bumpy out there. Again, Vero, 3 foot at 6 seconds. There we go. Sunday afternoon, let's up a little bit, and we're probably looking at 2 4 second period from the southeast. Not bad. So we're still getting that rush of water from the southeast. Again, keeping with the trend of this time of year, driving in the pelagics. Monday morning, pick up a little bit, folks. Monday morning, you saw that wind was elevated. So they're saying 3 foot seas, so not too bad. So it picks up Saturday. It looks like the more doable day. If anything, for the folks that, work the 40 all week, get out there and do it. The rest of this week, it's just going to be windy and choppy, but not, completely gnarly where you got like 6 foot seas going on. Monday afternoon, Miami's a little down, 2 foot, closer up to the Palm Beaches. Look at 3 foot, and all these are 4. So it's going to be choppy. It's going to be a lot of up and down. So for the smaller vessels, careful for vessels, 28 footers, 30 footers, not so much, but they're still going to be pulling out there. It'll be, the best of conditions. All right, same thing. 3 foot at 4 second period for Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, same. Looks like it's picking up. Let's just see, just for giggles. Wednesday and same thing. So we've got these elevated wind conditions, folks, and they're just going to be high winds, and they're going to create a chop. Not big waves, but they're creating a chop. So that's the looking at. All right, so now let's look at rain. We're in a dry spell because if you look up here, it's all front, but it will be taken over by another front come the weekend. So, there's some rain right there from that front. That's midway up the state. Tomorrow morning dry. Tomorrow afternoon, again, you see that front that was stalled. That's tomorrow afternoon. That's still part of that front that's stalled out. Come Thursday, dry conditions. Like I said, we got high pressure. You dissipate real quick. Come Thursday afternoon, here we go. This is the start of that front that's going to overtake, right? And there, like I said, here it comes. Okay, so this is Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we're going to start seeing some showers in the afternoon. That's 6 p.m. It's a little late. 3 p.m. There we go. Inshore showers. It all depends upon what the wind's doing. What these showers are going to hover just off the shore, or whether they will be inland showers that hang out, and sort of dissipate real quick. Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Not too bad looking, but we're going to see some rain. And so it's going to be scattered. Like I said, that the rainy season is upon us. Monday morning, bad. Monday afternoon, not too bad. Tuesday morning, moisture in the sky. Tuesday afternoon, there we go. There for you. So you're starting right there, folks. It's going to be this pattern. So we'll just, we grin and bear it like we do every year. All right. But let's take a look at WindFinder. WindFinder is the numerical forecast. I tend to look at this one a bit more than I look at windy. All right, so here we are. Tomorrow, winds from the southeast. Stay steady at, in the low to mid double digits, not very gusty at all, but bright and sunny, no moisture, right? Big direction from the southeast, 2 to 3 foot seas, which is, pretty much what Wendy was saying. Thursday, same thing, southeast winds heading into Friday, still south below an hour. Friday starts to pick up into, again, the low to mid digits. Right here, no moisture on the radar, which is good. So we'll see. We're getting conflicting reports of whether or not there's going to be a chance of rain. The chance of rain was supposed to be like 60%, according to local meteorologists. According to this stuff, we're looking at dry conditions come the weekend. Regardless, so Thursday night, 2 foot waves from the northeast from the east northeast, right? They're calling for a swell to head in Friday. Look at this, 10-second period. That'd be nice. But this is totally in disagreement with Wendy was saying. So again, this is where you have to look at your inlet cams, your beach cams, everything, and see if this is right. A 2 foot wave with a 10-second period from the northeast, that's a swell. And remember, we got that front coming, and usually following the front, there is a swell. So this could be truthful. Heading into Saturday, the swell still exists. Our wind coming from the southeast, right? From the northeast still exists because of water from the front, and as the day goes on, well, dissipates. See your period closing in 5 seconds, and 3 to 4 foot seas emerging on Sunday. Conditions that still waits to see. Monday, cloudy again, cloudy too. So we got not much sun going on, right? And remember, the sunnier days are looking like they're okay. So if you're going out for towel fishing, you need sunny conditions. You can't fish for towel fishing cloudy conditions; it just won't bite. All right, Monday into Tuesday, right? We're looking at 5 second period, 3 to 4 foot sea, winds in the low to mid double digits, cloudy, and the rain starts Tuesday into Wednesday. That's what we're looking at, folks. It's not too bad for the rest of the week and the first part of the weekend. And then we, as we head into next week, it looks like we're going to, the wet stuff's coming. All right, let's take a phase and see where we're at, right? So a couple of wahoo caught out on some folks' boats, which is nice. It's not really wahoo season. They will make an emergence again back in June. I mean, they're always out there, but your charter boat, man, those guys are out there all day. They know how to find these fish. So anyway, moon. We are waxing. Waxing means you're heading towards the full moon. Waning means you're heading towards the new moon, the dark side of the moon. So today we are at 70. So this is if you're the wahoo guy and you can get out there and do it, this is actually these couple of days before the full moon, a couple of days after it are perfect to go and do wahoo. So tomorrow, 79%. Thursday, 86%. So these are days you want to hit that and go for that wahoo bite. Over the Reef, we might be looking at various speeds, so you have to find your way around it, especially if you're running a planer or like a Nomad DTX or something like that. The scattered weeds can hinder your wahoo fishing. And if you're very bumpy and stuff, high-speed trolling is not really out of the question. So if you're really a die-hard wahoo fan, you gotta work your way through the conditions. All right, so Tuesday, Wednesday, this Thursday, 86%, Friday, 92%. Great day to get out there for the hoops. Saturday, 96, Sunday, almost full heading in. So overnight, Sunday into Monday, we will get the full moon, and then next Tuesday we start waning, which means we'll start, getting a little crescent. So you know, the weather forecast wasn't looking real pretty next week, but next week, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, heading into the mid to late days of the week, as the moon starts to wane, right? That you can, those are also other wahoo days. So, but then again, personally, me, it's that time of year, man. Go out and pick off some mahi while you got a chance. All right, let's take a look at our tide chart, and we'll get ready and let everybody move on, see how we're doing. Tide charts are very important, though, right, folks? Especially if you are fishing inlets. The chart is super important when you fish inlets, especially if you are a land-based person. Land-based fishermen who go out on the jetties and they fish the inlets. I've seen this time after time after time. You have to fish the outgoing tide. If you are fishing, whether you're on a boat, trolling, jigging, bottom fishing, drifting, or you're jetty, literally fishing the inlet, if you're fishing the incoming tide, you are going to catch water. You will catch nothing. There's nothing going to bite. It's not the way it works. The way the cycle of life works is, as the water, it pushes sediment, microorganisms, phytoplankton, chlorophyll, all the goodness. All the little fish come in and they eat that stuff. They feed on that stuff. The squids, everything comes in. And then the big boys come in and they, and that is how the ocean literally works, by water flow. So again, if you are fishing an inlet, don't bother if the tide's coming in. But give it a shot if the tide's going out. And then again, this water flow also is very important at the time of day. If you've got your outgoing tide and it's in the middle of the day, the fishing's slow. The sun's high, the shadows are low. The ocean is a very vicious place. You want to get eaten. But if you're in the morning like you are here, you're mid-tide, and at sunset, 2 times for fishing, you know that tide flow, that tidal flow right there is good for fishing those inlets. Let's look at tomorrow. We're about a third of through the, pardon me, the tide flowing. Now again, tide cycles flow in 12 hours. You got 6 hours going out, 6 hours coming in. And tomorrow, as sun sets, you're a little bit more than, you're about halfway through, right? Thursday, top of the tide as the sun rises. And as the sun is a little bit of time, about an hour or so, hour and a half before sunsets of the tide starting to go out. As the sun sets and the magic hour, you know, you got to about 8:30 or so, you got the tide will really start rolling. So it's still good to hit that bright and early. And Friday, again, you're at the slack tide. Not too much, not so much Friday evening, but Friday morning, slack tide as the sun comes up. So I'll give you time to get out there, get prepped, get rolling, you know, get your lines in the water and do what you got to do before it starts to pick it up and the sun, you know, peeks its head up over the horizon and starts brightening everything up. Tide will be rolling. Saturday, we're at the end of the incoming tide. As night falls, you are at the slack tide. So it's kind of good to get out there right at dusk and, you know, pitch them lines and do that. You know, we're in tuna season. The big fat tunas are gonna, you know, bite better at dusk. That's just the way they are. So, you know, you get out after work there and try and pick off a couple of them fatties, right? All right, that's Saturday. Sunday again. So if we got sunrise 6:30, right? So 6:30, you're about 2/3 of the way through the rising tide. So Sunday, you won't even want to go any further with the tide till at least, you know, mid-morning, 9 o'clock or so, when the water starts really flowing. And in the evening, it's already dark, so it might not be a thing to try and fish the water flow Sunday. And that is what we're looking for. Then about Monday. So that's where we're going. But you can see the trend, right? As we head further and further. Monday, it'll be the offset time where you don't really want to do it because your tide will be rising and rising at both sunrise and sunset. So that's where we're at. All right, folks. That does it for that. All right, before we head out, folks, I just want to invite you to check out our sponsor, WindRider. They've got some great shirts for the fishing apparel, right? You want one of them, they're cool fishing shirts, UPF 50 shirts. We got them, South Florida Saltwater Fishing. The logo's on them. You can get it on the front, you can get it on the back. They got a ton of different colors. You've got a ton of different styles, right? You've got just long sleeve shirts. You've got shirts with hoods and gaiters built in. Very cool, very very patriotic. Again, you get the logo, the brand. It's all good. I like seeing people out there wearing their South Florida saltwater fishing T-shirts. Again, WindRider. This is not a fly-by-night company. I've been with them for quite a few years now. Great company. They have a lot more than just this on their stuff. I just talk about it because it's it's our stuff that we sell through them. If you look at these prices, they're very reasonable. I get it that you say, wow, man, $45. That's what they really go for. And if you really go for like the major brand names, like let's say Hook or Pelagic or Salt Life or anything like that, you're going to pay, upwards of 60 plus for one of these shirts. So good thing about these shirts, right? They're UPF 50. That means you don't got to wear sunscreen with them. That's the best part about them. They're stain resistant too. So if you get all bloodied up during this mahi season, you go home, you squirt some spray and wash on them, they're going to come out looking brand new. They keep you cool in the summer, right? They're very breathable. They keep you warm in the winter. It's a good phenomenon of these UPF 50, sort of micro. It's not microfiber. I'm not sure what they're made out of. I've never looked at it, but that's what it is. And then they dry quick too. So if you get them soaked, they're going to dry real quick. All right. So that's end of the shameless plug. Call it quits right here. I invite you, if you are on Facebook, the South Saltwater Fishing Report group. Okay, it looks like this. It just doesn't have the date on it. This would be what it is, but you can't see because of the blue strip because I'm the administrator. This Facebook page is what drives our weekly live stream. Every Monday, we talking in the third person. I put out a post. It says show off your catches, right? You put your catches on here, you're guaranteed to be showcased during the show. We're going to show off everybody. And also, as a consultation prize, you have the chance of being the thumbnail picture on the that's on YouTube. So, always fun to see yourself and go, hey, that's me. Sometimes, we get people are very excited to do that. And again, this is a private group. It's a great community. It's private because I don't need 10 bazillion bots collecting information from everybody on our Facebook page. We just want it to be people catching fish, showing fish, where they're caught it, maybe give a little bit of information about it. Nothing too strenuous. And, again, if you want to join the group, again, it's private. You got to answer a couple questions. What's your favorite fish? And do you agree to the rules? The rules are simple. No loitering, no YouTube videos. No, trying to sell stuff. There's one guy who's very persistent about trying to offer boat detailing. And stop, please. So, yes, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Group, right, folks? Go on ahead and ask to, and, keep everybody in the bite. All right, folks, that about does it for this episode. Before we sign off, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day this coming Sunday, the 11th. All right. Till next Tuesday, South Florida Saltwater Fishing. Going wherever the cool wind takes us.